we built on Yin and Yang.
Right.
And you said the Yin and Yang over there is kind of like backwards, right? Like
Everybody, you see, all right.
Knowledge.
Yeah, now again, I wouldn't say backwards. Okay. I know where you, the perspective you're speaking from.
Right.
But they gonna do it wisdom knowledge because they think they're functioning to a certain extent for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? If it was backwards as a machine, it wouldn't run. So it runs, but certain things is missing that we may possess. You see, that based on our way that we do it. You see what I'm saying? And we have, as the God was speaking about, and even Najee and Allah Shah both spoke on earlier, you know, we have a unique experience that no one ever had in the history of this planet. So we, you know, 1 to 6 is a whole big mixture. The 7 is an extra pill. You just, the little alpha seltzer, you just drop in and fizz up the whole thing, you know what I mean? So we got that, but still study, but you need your 1 to 6.
So you the one that's,
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I could study that thing over there. I got the 7, so I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, you understand what I mean? Like going through those things. So I could use it then because Najee gave it to me that way. So I could use it to draw up whatever they're dealing with. And then use it as a lens through which I'm looking at, viewing or processing whatever they're dealing with. And draw it up according to, you know, give you my 5% version on it. 5% take on it. You know what I mean? Without disrupting their thing. Their thing is peace. You know what I'm saying? They just might certain ingredients they don't have that only we have. That's natural.
That's the purpose of coming together.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's a two-way street. You see what I'm saying? That's why I just wanted to build with the God at the same time. Like just now, I want to ask it. That would have been a perfect time. Like, if I'm gonna teach over there. So, for example, we got someone in the star, right? But according to the traditional Japanese culture, the sun for them is a female. The male for them is the rains, the storm god. You know what I'm saying? And you could kind of draw up some science in that, like your mom's is, you know what I mean? Especially in our households, we see your mom's is there every day, like the sun, you know what I mean? The first thing you wake up, boom, you see that face, whatever. My question is like, so if I was to teach to them, how am I teach according?
Well, no, you gotta teach it the way we give it, right? I would say like how we give it, because you know the way we teach it is that the sun is the why is the sun the foundation? Right. So you know, for them, they may be able to explain why they see it that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not to just be on a battle with them, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, well, you know, the sun is the foundation of the solar system.
This is this and this and that is that. Like this is what we.
So you say this is this and that is that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I understand that, but so the point I was making is this: sorry. So this is how the white man did it when he went out spreading his thing, right? So he would go like, I see it this way. This is how.
And it's the only way.
Right, and fuck what y'all got. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need to throw that shit away quick. You understand what I'm saying? So now, we not on it like that. So then what do you come? How do you come? Like, okay, we
got to show and prove, right? That's the way to show and prove, and that's how I see it.
The way to show and prove.
The weight is the weight of show and prove, because now you amongst people who may look at things a certain way, right? So it's almost like when in Rome do as Romans do, but we don't do that.
No.
We don't go amongst the Romans and become Romans. So okay, so it's like, no, peace. This is what y'all deal with, or this is what I deal with. If you know.
It sounds like with the last God that came to the door and introduced himself with his lady, he said y'all both see things differently, both have their own understanding of it. It doesn't mean y'all either both wrong or both right. It's just that y'all see things in two different perspectives.
And it's a different perspective, right? Like, no, long shot. What's that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it would be definitely hard to teach lessons to somebody who bases wisdom is first instead of knowledge, because it would be a mental conflict. When they were taught, it's hard to reprogram. It's hard to reprogram yourself after years of being taught things, unless you have an open mind. You gotta be, optimistic towards things. It'd be difficult for somebody that's in that mindset, raised in Japan, thinking that the woman is the foundation or as the sun in the universe. It'd be a super mental conflict for that person to come to terms with a knowledge that's given over here. You know what I'm saying? As the father being the sun and the foundation of the universe. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a mental conflict between the two. But the person that's learning it will have to be open-minded and willing to learn a different way of being taught. If they're set in their ways, it's going to be hard for them to be taught.
Well, that's what you think talk about teaching the babies, right? Like, that's, you know, but again, you want to get the permission of the parents, and the parents may not approve, right? So,
I mean, it's not only the babies that require teaching, you know, it's a lot of adults that require it too, like that didn't grow up with it, you know, like the God said, the babies, they have the privilege of being born into mathematics. You know, some brothers have to acquire or attain
most of us did, you know, That's why I was telling the baby, well, you know, the honorable name, because we didn't get it. We had to, we give the honorable names because, again, the 5% said that, because Umar taught me that. He said, man, because we're not, even though the names have its history with the devil, and yes, the government has something to do with that too. But sometimes, most often, the first rudiments of mathematics was taught in the home. Right, wrong, go to school, you know, how to eat, whatever. Your mothers and fathers taught you that. So they taught you the science of honor. You know what I mean? So we not gonna come here and disparage your mother and father. Of the slave, although we did when we were younger. Of the slave name, government name, When we hear people say government name, that came from the 5%. That's what we say. What's your government name? My government name is, you know, but my mother ain't the government. You know what I mean? But you know, but yes. So
his question was more so because he's teaching his babies this science, right? But he's in an environment where, in their environment, the son is the female.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I guess he was trying to say, well, we're not.
What? All right. So then.
Excuse me.
Peace.
Can I talk to you for a second over here?
Oh, yeah. That was nice. Glad you did that, yeah. Boy, you teaching them right. That's a grown man science there. He said, oh, no, let me do that here. I didn't pull you to the side. Pull you to the side talk to you. Damn, bro, you did your thing with them, man. I'm sorry, go ahead, God. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can add on.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, so my babies, because they got these, so when I'm teaching them, I can teach the lessons to them strictly because this is my culture. I'm giving to them like this is what it is, this is how it's done at the root, and this is what it is. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, so on and so forth. Right. And now, as far as their mother and Japanese culture, that flows in the house too, and I draw it up. Like, you know what I mean? I decipher it, or this is the 5% take on what they do, and so on and so forth. And I could teach them, you know, this is what 85% of the Japanese do, and this is how we view the Japanese original culture, so on and so forth. Now, what I'm saying to the God, like, in the future, my thing is to go out and teach beyond my family.
Okay.
The Japanese people. Now, they have it, I gave you one example, for example, as far as their cosmology and so on, the sun for them is a female. They worship it as a goddess.
So you can see it.
This is their traditional culture.
Okay.
And the male, as far as the balance, is like the rains, the monsoon rains and storms and so on and so forth. So now we say, like, you know, when the devil was spreading his Christianity, he got his way and he said, this is my way, and you know, you're gonna burn your way. Like, yeah, we definitely not coming with that, but we also not wishy-washy. We're not going to go sit there and be transformed by what other people. So what would be the approach? I was saying that I wanted to speak with the God. You know, you've been teaching for many years. What approach could you see?
Okay.
Respecting their culture, but respecting our culture.
Not you was just talking about that a second ago. I was talking to your daughter. Again, man, excellent job, God. Excellent job. Because of the cultural dynamic. But I was telling him, I remember, and you reiterate, I was saying, yeah, God, well done, because I mean, your root is his knowledge, and then you took it upon yourself as the man to, you know, you have your woman, you created your children, and you teaching the culture of our God there, right? So I said, well, God, how? I said, because I told her, I complimented your daughter, and then the God was saying about, well, God, he said, one of the things I remember telling you was when you go there, starting from the signs of good and evil. What does that mean to you? And then building from that premise. Because again, God, like something the God was saying, go in there, right? You're not going to change the cultural dynamic and that's not what we're trying to do anyway. But showing the importance. Okay, well the son is the son is the woman. Okay, interesting. Okay, I mean we're not here to disparage you. That's your way. And I understand why that. Without really, and you're saying it because the sun radiates beauty. The rain radiates strength. Boom, boom, monsoon rains. So I see where your dynamics from. It's just that, however, there's much more to the sun than the radiating of beauty. And the reason why you see the prism is light because of the constant atomic explosions going on in there, right? Which shows you its strength. Like the sun is to the universe, like the black man is to his family. Why do we say that? Because the sun generates its own sense of heat and power. 9 planets are dependent upon its light, which helps it rotate around it, right? So, and showing the masculine strength. Well, the interdependent word you gave me that day, the interdependent strength, like one in the Chinese culture, Yin and Yang, the law of absolute dominance and excessiveness, but they all work together. You know what I mean? To it's called archetypical form, like the most earliest forms of creation. But to come back to your point, how would you do that? Again, like you taught your son. We start from the basics. Like I was telling the God, you want to, and the wisdom is to be dome and gotta stop, man. Even though they're intelligent, but you want to speak the language best understood by the people, right? They see you every day, but all I see every day, you're different to them, right? So they're not seeing, even there, you're seeing things from a objective view. Like, okay, well, that's different. The son and the woman, and wow, and this and that. Okay, better, right? Let me see how you doing that one. You know what I mean?
It's like what you said. That's a teachable moment.
Yeah, it is right. Yeah, it is right. So and how you start simply. If I was coming in there, okay, but what's your view on, or why wouldn't the son not be the man? Right. Just put something because sometimes we teach through asking the question. Of course you go get the free. What? That's, because this is something we teach on, what? That's one, because, then, of course, because that's going to beg to another question. Why did you say that? Oh, okay. Because, you know what I mean? Because I kind of, and I'm more than certain, and in fact, I'm glad you brought this up. I'm going to ask Inf, when you asked him that question, why the woman is that, it was more because of the radiance of the sun. You know what I mean? And then, how it shines. You know what I mean? And then, because you do see strength in,
Party.
no problem. Yeah, you do see strength in rain and water. Absolutely. Strong element. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the monsoons and
yeah, the monsoons, yeah, they ain't
stuff
gonna play
like
with, yeah. I was Africa, I see how hard it rains. Like I never seen the rain. That's when you travel. So I got it, but we're not trying like a large sort of. I'm not. You need the knowledge itself when you're making the connection. One of the first things is showing how, as a people, we're one, because their philosophy and their science definitely different. That was interesting. It's just the opposite, because we hear a lot of people say, wisdom is water, and wisdom is not the woman though. Let me stop that. So it's not. My wisdom, she's not there. Wisdom means to be wise. Well, wisdom means my woman is my woman. She's my queen on my earth. You know what I mean? Wisdom is the wise words. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, it's that too. Because even in this, sometimes we get it kind of misconstrued. You know what I mean? That's my wisdom. No, my wisdom. I remember I told you God's Medina. I said that I went to Medina. You God see my wisdom. I'm trying to sound slick. I looked at me, Saheem, man, God, you don't stop that nonsense right now. Right. So I had to learn. Okay, no, because she's not. But I understand wisdom also is associated with water. And I get that part.
Or a secondary principle.
Yeah, secondary. Yeah, it's that. It's the highest form of expression. All those things. But again, because you'll go back to your question. How would I? Well, first listening to, because again, applying the mathematics. Well, let me see what they mean by that first, because I'm not going to just come. Because a lot of times, and I've done that too. A large part of my fault when I come up in this knowledge was because when you get the knowledge, you're so eager. You're not. I had to learn how to teach. Put it that way. So, but yeah, the black man's God, and so the black man's man, and wisdom is this and that, and then people look at you, okay, but first that went over my head. Okay, and then when you do speak to me plainly, I'm still not getting it because I'm diametrically coming from a different point. Right. So again, what do you mean by the son being a woman? Then I'm getting an understanding. Oh, I see what you mean. You know what I mean? Interesting because just the opposite.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I'm always going. I told God I'm fascinated with language and culture.
Right.
So you got like knowing your audience and knowing.
Right. That's what you said that too. Yeah.
Knowing
right.
the language of the people that you're speaking to.
Right.
And then you can also share your perspective. Like I said, God says like that's a teachable moment. But you get to understand where they're coming from.
Right.
And bear with them, because in that side of the world, you talk about the yin and the yang, right? The yin is the woman, or the yin is feminine, and the yang is, so it's like almost like wisdom knowledge to us, right? But then, when you speak it to them, like you just got to figure out how to communicate.
Yin is
female,
and yang is
masculine. You know what I'm saying? So
it's first, you second.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yin,
Peace, God.
Yin and yang. You know what I mean?
And these are things with their mother that I had to, like explain. And one of the things that made it, and always you want to keep it with keep it with the equality there, right? But one of the things that always, so what is the purpose? What is the benefit? Or if you're teaching it this way, you're teaching it, let's say for example, the son is the woman. So what do y'all get from that? From that, because it's all the black man is using this. Everyone is using whatever they doing with their culture to add on to their mind, free to dome. You know what I mean? So you learn it that way, and you get what from that? What do you observe about the son that you want to give it those characteristics? All right, that's
good questions. Good questions.
You know what I mean? And this is all right, and we say it for this, and then we. Right. Not only do we see those qualities in the son, but also then we get to take those qualities, and we use them to apply to our men and boys. For living, rites of passage, how we grow. Where obviously you doing that for the females over there in your way, and you must have these other things that you're doing for the male. All right, so y'all organize your life like this, we organize it like that, and that's peace. But and this is I'm taking a long way around it, but
that's okay.
This is how I really put it to their mother. But see, with their mother, I am. Just like with them, I am in the business of making a 5%er, right? Whereas with the rest of the people now, where I'm trying to move now, that might not always be the goal. So I don't really have any experience other than making you one of my conversion.
So God, now this wisdom. See, this is called today mathematics understanding. Why the devil keep our own people apart from their social equality? The root word is social equality. His is for the purpose of course, we know, I don't want you to know how filthy all my affairs, because once you learn about me, you run me from among you. But you want to understand the social dynamics of the people. So that's what you're learning. Well, I'm not coming like, I don't come there to, I don't teach the teacher how to teach. Nor am I, I'm just trying to explore, like I understand we said, well, because you're my woman, yeah, this is the dynamic now. Right. Peace. Let me kind of get you to understand what needs to be understood here. Right. You know, and then and the reason why that is, again, mathematics, the lessons, because the sun is who?
Because the sun is the man.
And the moon is
the woman.
So we have attracting powers in our planets, and the planets are the children. They're made or grown from the beginning. They're made or grown from man and woman, sun and moon, right? But the reason why she's accessible, first of all, I like what I see. I'm attracted to the mind, and whatever he brings, be good. I'm good with that. So then, what else is he bringing to the table? And then you bring that science, because again, the cultural differences, and you're showing, you know what I mean? Patience, first degree. I'm cultivating the land. You know what I mean? You know, boom. So you're harvesting. That thing doesn't come overnight, but then it does. You know what I mean? So that different dynamic with the people, definitely you're exploring more so. So right. And the question you just asked, that's the type of how are you benefiting from that? How do you benefit from that? Mainly, how is she the son? How is she these dynamics? You know what I mean? I get yin and yang though, because we can kind of get, because wisdom is the degree upon which the knowledge travels in. You know what I mean? So it's really knowledge and wisdom, but it's man and woman are working interdependently. Right. So I get the archetypical means the most earliest form. So I'm taking from the universe. You know what I mean? That's where the yin and yang come from. We're coming from that. You know, the light and dark, the light. You know what I mean? And they the laws of dominance and the laws of recessiveness. You know what I mean? But there are typical forms that are applied to people. You know what I mean? It's a book too, a good book to read, called Signs and Symbols of Pre-Mortal Man.
Yeah, I know. I read that back in the day. I read
okay, gotcha. So you already know what it is, right. Churchill, or something like that.
Yeah,
anyway, right. So anyway, but yes, by engaging in the conversation, that's what I do in the discussion class, in my class. Like we talk about 120, you know what I mean? But we God, how do you see this, and what's this, and how is this quoted? Because just in this room, the lessons are different. That's just from this dynamic. But when you're talking about that, again, we're not right. You're not. I'm not making you a 5%er or changing your dynamic. You know what I mean? But in this build, like the Jewish people, I always have, because I work in the behavioral health field, so help all people, right? But again, when I come across them, we've always had this conversation. You know what I mean? I know y'all think that we're this and that. Oh, no. In fact, I commend your cultural commitment to your people. I commend that you say never say don't forget. I got to historically go into the bill with him about us and the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Then ironically, I said, man, what's almost paradoxical is the fact that you're calling yourselves the Beta Israel, the original black people, who you calling Jews. They were originally the original people. Right. This is their homeland. You would have to have Selassie and them, but he was dropping it on y'all about where they came from. The philosophy is not really the name. That's a name that was given to the same black people who lived in these particular homelands. But again, that was our early bill before you came with your children, was how our history was crushed to the earth. You know what I mean? And separation was caused because of our lack of not knowing. You know what I mean? But when you have knowledge, you understand not everything, you understand everything around you.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.
About how to engage with everybody.